Lights, camera, action.
And then here is the website to go for the CEAC portal. And there's a lot of different links on here. The one yet you have to click is the 260 online visa immigrant and alien registration application. This is going to get you to the sign-in page. And what you're going to do is once you see this, it's going to ask you for a case number. You're going to take your NVC case number here. You're going to copy it and you're going to put it into this box here. And then you're going to hit continue. And they're also going to give you something called an invoice ID number. And they sent that right under the case number. So we're going to copy that. And then we're going to put it into this box here. And make sure you don't have any extra spaces or anything like that. Once you once you're doing the next thing, you're going to say, I am the petitioner. And then you're going to enter this CAPTCHA box. And just like that, we're going to be able to access our portal. Okay, so you can see that in our CEAC that everything's done. Obviously, Monet is here already, so that's awesome. But some of the cool things that you'll see in your portal are your case number, the visa type, where your case is at, what foreign country is in charge of it. So the Philippines. Interview location, it's going to be in Manila. And then what your priority date is. So ours was September 4th in 2019. There's a messaging center here. So you can view the messages that from the NVC. They're going to send them to you here. This is a little bit tricky interface here because now it's working. But if it doesn't work, there's a trick to get these messages to show up. So, for instance, you may click this and it's just going to turn gray. What you have to do is this box is going to close. Once it closes, click the link again, and you're going to have to wait like 5 to 10 minutes. If it doesn't actually show up, you're going to have to call the NVC, and then there you can check to see if what the message says. Just tell them what the subject says, and they'll read the message to you. So it looks though like they fixed it, or at least it's working now. So we're going to go back to home. Let this load. The site's a little slow sometimes, so anyway, but it'll get going. They give you a little bit of a graph here. We don't need to worry about that. I'm going to take you through it. So look, we have affidavit of support and application information. Okay, these are the two things that you need to fill out, the two sections you need to fill out. The primary person in bold is going to be on top. They're going to be the primary sponsor. That's going to be you. And this person is going to have to pay a fee called the affidavit of support fee. We talked about that in the other video. But you can see here that the affidavit support fee is $120. And then right underneath, you can see the IV fee is $325. I would suggest you pay these right away because this is what's going to get you to the next step. So you're going to have to pay it, and just make sure that you get it fast. Okay, we're going to go back to home. There's all the documents that have to be put into your CEAC here. I'm calling it CEAC, but it's your portal. So you have to put it in your portal. These are the required documents for the petitioner. The main one is the I-864 AOS form. You need to submit that. Then after that, you're going to submit your tax returns. If you have transcripts, that's all you need to submit, or just the transcripts. If you have 1040s and 1099s and W-2s, then you have to submit all three of those for each year. We submitted the last 3 years since she was we did this in 2019. The last 3 years were 2017, 2018, and 2019. We got the transcripts for 2017 and 2018. For 2019, the transcripts weren't yet available, so what we did was we submitted the 1040 and the W-2s. I also had a 1099, so I submitted that as well. You can see then also what I've done is I've submitted down here additional AOS supporting documentation, my birth certificate to show my domicile. No, to show my citizenship, sorry. Marriage certificate to show that we're actually married. Proof of relationship between the sponsor and the household member, since I have a sponsor. A co-sponsor is a household member. It's my mom. I put my birth certificate there. It just shows that she's actually my mom. You need to have that for a household member. They have to be your relative. So if it's not your relative, they're going to be a joint sponsor or a co-sponsor, but they're not going to be a household member sponsor. It's a new thing they added, household member. So proof of U.S. citizenship, birth certificate again. I don't know why I put my birth certificate twice, but I did, just to be sure. And then Form I-864A, which is actually the contract between the sponsor and the household member, i.e. my mom. She signed it. I uploaded that here, as well as, I'll show you in a second, her documents. And I also uploaded my W-2, which was for 2019. I'm going to go back, and you can select the other person here, or you can go back to the home. Once you're at the home here, you can see that we also have the co-sponsor information. These are where we upload the documents. So here's the I-864A, proof of relationship again, so just put my birth certificate again. Proof of U.S. citizenship, put her birth certificate, and then proof of U.S. domicile. I just submitted their tax return of the latest year, and then I also submitted their tax returns and W-2s and the additional supporting documentation. Once you upload everything, you're gonna hit submit documents. It's gonna send it off to the NVC. You can't get into this part until you pay your fees. Now, we also have applicant information. Here's where you pay your IV fee. Here's where you do your IV application, which is also known as the DS-260. This has already been completed for us. This can't be edited anymore. Essentially, this is going to take you through a multi-page questionnaire, and it's going to ask you a lot of different questions. It's going to ask you surname, given name. Have you used other names, maiden? If you're the wife from the Philippines, you're immigrating, you're going to say yes, put your maiden name there. Date of birth, city of birth, state of birth, country of birth. Okay, next. Passport information, so you can put Philippines passport, your passport number, and then your issue date and expiration date. You probably don't have another nationality, so you're going to say no. Present address, where are you living in the Philippines, so you're going to put all that in there. Have you lived anywhere else? You're going to say no or yes. You're going to put in your phone number. You're going to add another phone number if you had another one. You're going to have an email address. Same thing, put your email address. You're going to put all your social media in there. I suggest that you go through your social media and make sure there's nothing crazy on there. Just so it looks good. All right, then the next thing, other social media, just make sure to put everything. They may check through it. So your petitioner's permanent address, go ahead, put that on there. Phone number. This is probably where you want your green card to be mailed to, so you're going to select yes there. Then your mailing address is the same as your present address. Hopefully. If not, you can add a different mailing address. Okay, then you're going to put in information about the beneficiary's parents. So this is her. You're going to put information about the father, date of birth, city of birth. So he's still living, address, same with the mother, everything the same. Then you're going to click next. Current spouse, hope that's obviously the one that's who's petitioning you. So you're going to put them in there. City, state of birth, address, same as the U.S. address, occupation. I was in education. I was a student and I worked at the college. Date, place of marriage, put all that information in there. Is your spouse immigrating to the U.S. with you? No, because he or she's here. Is your spouse immigrating to the U.S. at a later date? Again, no. Do you have any previous spouses? Yes or no. Do you have any children? Yes or no. Have you ever been in the U.S.? Hopefully, I hate to say it, but probably no. It's going to make it easier. Have you been issued a visa? No. Have you been refused a visa? No. Okay. Next, education, work, and training. Bene's education, she's an online tutor. She's self-employed, so we put her home address there. If you work at... Have you ever traveled to any other countries within the last 5 years? I put yes, and I put all the countries in there, but they've taken it out for some reason. We went to a lot of places like Hong Kong, Macau, like a lot of places. So it wasn't a big deal. They didn't have any problems. She never served in the military, so we put no. Petitioner is the spouse. I put the spouse's everything there. Address and phone number. Email address. Okay. Hopefully you don't have TB. You're going to have that test before you come here. So I would just mark no. If you think you might, you're going to probably want to go to the doctor first, get that checked out. Do you have a documentation to establish you've received vaccinations in accordance with U.S. law? I know everyone in the Philippines is vaccinated. Try to have those records. If you don't, it's not a big deal. You just tell the nurse or the doctor at SLEC, St. Luke's in Manila, that you don't. They're going to check your, when you were born to see how much maybe that the government provided at that time. And then they're just going to give you boosters. They're just going to kind of let you through on that. So, do you have a mental or physical disorder that poses a threat to safety or welfare of yourself or others? No. Are you or have you ever been a drug user or an addict? No. Okay, so criminal questions next. Have you ever been arrested or convicted for any offense, crime? No. Have you ever violated any laws to controlled substances? No. Are you the spouse of an individual's trafficking? No. Are you coming to the United States to engage in unlawful commercial vice? No. Prostitution? No. Have you ever been involved in money laundering? No. Have you ever committed or conspired to commit human trafficking? No. Have you ever aided, abetted, assisted, or colluded with individuals been identified as a person who traffics persons? No. Are you the spouse of an individual? Anyway, trafficking? No. Sabotage, violence, illegal activities? No. Do you seek to engage in terrorist activities? No. Have you ever or do you intend to provide financial assistance to support terrorists? No. Are you a member of a terrorist organization? No. Are you the spouse, son, or daughter of an individual who's engaged in terrorist activity? No. Have you ever ordered, incited, committed, assisted, or otherwise participated in genocide? No. Have you ever committed or otherwise participated in torture? No. So there's a ton of questions like this. Okay, you got to go through all this. Okay, just a lot of questions. You got to answer all these. Hopefully they're all no. Just got to make life easier. Have you ever applied for a social security number? No. Do you ever authorize Department of Homeland Security to issue you? Anyway, you want to say yes to this question. It's very important. This is how you're going to get your SSN and your permanent resident card, your green card. Okay, so you want to say yes to this. If you don't say yes to that, you're going to have to apply for the SSN separately once they arrive. Your spouse has arrived in the United States. Okay. Now we have everything. This is just an overview. You're going to go through all this. You're going to check it out. Okay, it's all good, right? Okay, so next, we're going to family and check it out. Next, travel. Next, education. Next, petitioner. Next, security. Next, social security. Next, prepare. No one's helped you fill out the application. Next, confirmation. Thank you. It's been received. It's been forwarded to the interview location. You can print the confirmation. Print the form DS-260 because you're going to take that to the interview, the entire form. You're also going to want to print the confirmation and bring that to the interview because this has a barcode on it and they're going to scan it. They're also going to look at the printout. Just make sure you have that as a part of your documentation. All right, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, let us know. We'll be happy to help you. Thank you. God bless.